Assalamu alaikum. These are some of the prophecies which we reveal to you. Among the prophecies awaiting future fulfillment is how the Qur'an portrays the story of Noah and people of Ad, then conveys a message of patience, because surely the future belongs to the righteous, and a profound promise: for every prophecy there is fulfillment, and you will come to know. Today we will witness an astonishing revelation unfold, where the Quran narrates the intricate details of the Stone Ages with a precision that aligns with the discoveries of the 21st century. So in the name and blessings of Allah, we begin. In Quran, we have the story of Noah's people with explicit details about their way of life. Subsequently, their successors, the people of Ad, and their characteristics that match those of the New Stone Age. Archaeologists and historians classify the time of human existence based on a human knowledge development. In the Old Stone Age, humans were wild animal hunters and wild fruit gatherers and lived in caves. They didn't even know the concept of livestock, farming, or even building a permanent house till they discovered agriculture, which changed everything and started the New Stone Age. With the beginning of the New Stone Age, or the Neolithic Age, humans shifted from their nomadic way of life to a settled way of life. Regardless of which source you rely on, you will find consensus on the following key features of the Neolithic Age. 1. People stopped moving in search of food and settled. 2. They built permanent villages and later on cities instead of temporary huts. 3. The discovery of agriculture. 4. Animal domestication, meaning bred in captivity instead of hunting. 5. And last, pick up on crafts such as pottery. Are we really going to find all these features in the verses telling the story of Ad? Let's see. So God sent a prophet named Hud to people of Ad. These verses convey the words of Hud addressing his people. Let's start with: fear the one who has provided you with what you know. Hud is reminding his people, Ad, of what God provided them, which is knowledge, what you know. So the following list of things are going to be the science and knowledge of things and how they function. The knowledge of what things? Gardens and water springs. Gardens are the land where plants are grown, and the knowledge of gardens is called agriculture or farming. That's point number 3 from the Neolithic features. And water springs in Arabic, uyun, refers to water source and ground canals. And the knowledge of springs is termed irrigation, which actually was a late practice in the Neolithic Age. Provided you with livestock and banin. Livestock are obviously animals kept on a farm, and it's knowledge of animal husbandry or domestication. That is point number 4. Provided you with livestock and banin. So what are banin? The Arabic language is based on a tri-consonantal root system, where words are derived from the 3-letter basic form, and all the words derived from that root share the same core meaning. Banin is derived from the root banana, which is associated with the concept of building and stability, from which the word banan is derived and means the body and structure. All meanings swirl around meaning permanent buildings, which is point number 2 from the Neolithic features, the building of permanent villages and cities, and adopting factories in order to be immortal. Masana' in Arabic, which is usually translated to factories, is derived from the root sana'a, manufacture. So masana' actually mean industries and crafts. Notice it says adopting masana', not building or constructing, adopting crafts. That is point number 5. And the word takhludun, translated to immortal here, is derived from the root khalada. The 2 most common meanings of khalada is one, to be immortal, and the other meaning is to settle, because both carry the core meaning of stability and continuation. So takhludun means to settle. That is the first point we have here. You build a structure sign on every hill for vain. Revisiting the same sources of the Neolithic features, you will find them saying it was significant for its famous megalithic structures. It is the earliest form of architecture, and it is a hallmark of the Neolithic Age. And despite so many studies, the purpose behind these structures remain largely speculative, echoing the Quranic assertion that it was done in vain. And when you strike as cruel tyrants. If there is one more key feature left in the Neolithic age, it is warfare.
Warfare kind of follows farming as a natural sequence.
Systemic warfare emerged during the Neolithic age, taking violence to a much higher level of cruelty. So as you can see, warfare is another hallmark of the Neolithic age. So what is happening here? How is it that a book over 1400 years old speaks about the Neolithic age and the agricultural revolution that reshaped human history, encapsulating almost all its features? This predates the field of archaeology by 1200 years. And this book is not even a product of a grand civilization. Rather, it was written in the language and during the time of simple people living in the heart of the desert. It is even explicitly saying that these are prophecies waiting for future fulfillment. Could this be the word of a man of that time? Or was it revealed by him who knows the secrets of the heavens and the earth? This underscores a profound truth from God. The prophecies do not end here. Let's continue. That was the story of the Neolithic people of Ad, who succeeded the people of Noah, meaning Noah lived before them on the evolution timeline. So will the verses telling the story of Noah and his people describe to us an earlier stage of the Neolithic age, or perhaps the Mesolithic age? Let's find out. The Middle Stone Age, or the Mesolithic age, is a transitional period in human history. The following are the key features of the Mesolithic age overlapping early Neolithic. When the last ice age ended, the climate became rainy with wet lands, which later encouraged farming. Agrarian societies emerged and settled near rivers. The discovery of agriculture. Religious beliefs emerged, mainly celestial and nature worship. People developed water and wetland crossing tools. The concept of society emerged, and the concept of nuclear family also emerged. Will we find these features in the verses telling the story of Noah as well? Let's find out. He sent the sky loose upon you in abundance. What an amazing depiction of the rainy climate during that time, to name one of the dual purposes of this choice of words, as we will see later on. Will provide you with possessions and buildings, and will assign unto you gardens, and will assign unto you rivers. Doesn't that sound familiar? Wasn't something similar said to the people of Ad in later time, but with some key differences? With people of Ad, he said provided you in past tense, because the transition to a settled way of life had happened and completed for the Neolithic people of Ad. However, with Noah, he used the present tense, indicating that the transition will happen in the near future or has just started, confirming that he is talking about a transitional age. The second difference is, with Noah, he said, will assign unto you gardens and rivers, again using present tense, which is used for present or future action in Arabic. But notice he didn't say water springs in Noah's story, which as we know now means the knowledge of artificial irrigation, which people of Ad perfected later in the Neolithic age. Do you know why he didn't say water springs irrigation with Noah, but said rivers instead?
The first villages began to emerge near the floodplains of the rivers, as these were the most fertile land.
So first, agrarian societies settled on rivers first and did not know the concept of artificial irrigation yet. They relied on rivers, I sign unto you rivers, and rain sends the sky upon you in abundance. It was a gradual process before humans developed more advanced techniques for managing and controlling water for agriculture. That is why the verses avoided mentioning irrigation at that time. And just in case you are somehow still in doubt that all this has anything to do with mankind ages of knowledge development, this verse comes to your rescue, and he has created you in developing phases. This verse is a beacon of assurance that we are on the right understanding track. Then the verses began to convey to us the beliefs of that ancient time. Do you not see how Allah has created 7 samawat in tibaqa and set up within them the moon as a light and set up the sun as a torch? Samawat usually refers to skies or heavens, but in Arabic, sama means anything above and high, which includes planets.
Stone Age beliefs focused on nature and the movements of the sun and moon. They worshipped many different gods connected with nature.
During the Stone Age, humans were aware of 5 known planets in addition to the moon and the sun, totaling 7 samawat. He sent the sky loose upon you in abundance, and Allah has caused you to grow from earth as a growth. Then He will return you into it and bring you forth. Ancient beliefs often used natural phenomena like rain, planting, and growth as a metaphor or symbols for pregnancy and childbirth. It was a common tendency to draw analogies between nature and human experiences. The impregnation of the earth by rain was seen as a parallel to human conception.
The mystery of childbirth, and by extension, the mystery of seeds germinating and growing into plants. Such mysteries might seem like miracles within a single lifetime. Even if drought strikes and crops refuse to grow, it is not because reliable Mother Earth is withholding her bounty, but because unpredictable Father Sky refuses to make it rain.
Similarly, the act of planting seeds in the soil and watching them grow into new life have been symbolically linked to the idea of childbirth. And return you into earth and bring you forth deals with their belief of the afterlife, which was another religious feature of that age. So Qur'an conveyed their beliefs with full intelligibility. And Allah has made the earth for you a carpet, that you may go about therein, fijaj and paths. As the Mesolithic age ended, the early Neolithic age began. Humans developed new tools to traverse wetland and bodies of water, such as boats. Get it? Noah and boats. Going back to these carefully phrased verses, we ask, what is fijaj and paths? Fijaj is the space between 2 mountains, and it means distancing and separation between 2 things. The man faj means he spread his legs, like this. Bo fajja means separated the string away from the arch, like this. All these examples are given by ancient Arabic language dictionaries, so we did not make them up. Do you see the pattern here? All giving the same visual meaning of spreading 2 things to make arched way between them. Just remember this image. Now, let's go back to the new tools. In addition to boats, there was another distinct tool that appeared back then to help cross the wetlands, made of wood and lumber. They found one in England named sweet track that is thousands of years old, used by the earliest farmers. Would you like to see how it looks?
Farmers in the valley made wooden trackways to help them cross the wetlands.
And Allah has made the earth for you a carpet, that you may go about therein, arched paths. Even the modest sense of fairness would make one realize this cannot be the word of man. Then Noah said, my Lord, leave not on surface any of the disbeliever dayara. So what does dayar mean? It is derived from the word dar and diyar, which means homeland. A homeland is a place where a joint identity has formed between its dwellers, hence society. So that's the meaning of diyar. What about dayyar? Arabic words are structured based on specific templates, known as awzan. These patterns help convey grammatical information. Dayyar follows the same template of tayyar, which means pilot, which follows the pattern of the intensive active participle, emphasizing a more intense or skilled action. A pilot, tayyar, is in charge of flying. Dayyar is in charge of society. An amazing choice of words, achieving 2 meanings with 1 word. The meaning of society, a group of people sharing place and culture, and the meaning of hierarchy, the inevitable result of emerged society. Both key features of the late Mesolithic or early Neolithic age. The idea that an ancient book is able to describe the time of the first societies, connect them to agriculture, further link that to the emergence of hierarchy is truly miraculous. What is even more miraculous is that it is actually saying the following. And Noah said, my Lord, leave not on surface any of the disbeliever chieftains, for if you leave them, they will mislead your devotees and will not beget except the wicked and disbeliever. This is clearly saying that the formation of society in its early stage shaped individual perspectives on morality and correctness and enforced a set of beliefs and norms. This is again an amazing alignment with all scientific sources regarding the influence of society on individuals, just like what happened to Noah's son, who was influenced by his society, who refused to ride the boat with his father and drowned, which leads us to the last feature of this era, which is the emergence of the nuclear family: father, mother, and kids. My Lord, forgive me and my parents. This verse also addresses ancestor worship, widespread belief of that time. In the end, I say, knowing the details of past events in prehistoric societies by a book that predates the existence of any simple research tools is something that is surely a sign of great knowledge acquired through non-research methods. But Qur'an did not just do that. Analyzing historical information involves recognizing patterns, identifying key trends, understanding cause and effect relationships, and drawing meaningful conclusions. It requires a deep engagement with the material, allowing for a more holistic perspective of the historical context, changes, and developments. And Quran did that. Praise be to Allah, and may peace be upon all His prophets and messengers. There have come to you insights from your Lord. So whoever chooses to see, it is for his own good, and whoever turns a blind eye, it is for his own loss. And I am not a keeper over you.